Hey guys, Sausage here. This is my 1-year anniversary celebration video. I don't feel like I've been on YouTube for a full year, but I have, so I felt like I should make a video, and I thought, what better video to make than something breaking down how I do my reviews for the games. Let's just jump right into it. The first and most important thing I want people to understand is that I start all of my reviews at a base level, at a base rating, a base score, whatever you want to call it. And that rating, that score is 7 out of 10, a 70%. I do that with every game, or more specifically, every category. So the reason I chose 7 out of 10, 70% is because when you're in school, whether it's primary, college, whatever it is, 70%, that's a C. And I feel like C is average. Now, people don't like C's, and I get it, but I don't feel comfortable starting every game off at a 10 out of 10 or a 0 out of 10. I feel like average is where everything should start, and then I adjust from there, right? And I will never give a game a perfect score. Just a little segue. I will never give a serious rating of 10 out of 10. I don't believe that there is any game out there that is perfect. Witcher 3, Cyberpunk, Ocarina of Time, Skyrim. They're great games, but they're not perfect. I don't think anything should ever receive a perfect score. So I will never give a serious rating of a 10 out of 10. Now, to get back on track, there are different games and there are different categories. So let's take Skyrim, for example, or better yet, let's go with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk would be a better example. Cyberpunk is open world. It's an RPG. There's story elements. There's driving. There's first person, shooting and stuff. There's swords. That's a lot different than, say, a game like A Short Hike, where it's a 45-minute to an hour-long adventure where you play as a little bird climbing up a mountain. Very different games, so you're going to have different categories. With A Short Hike, you're going to have art, you're going to have soundtrack, you're going to have story, and I'm going to include the price. There's no first-person shooting element. There's no driving element. There's no RPG element. So because I have two different games, they're going to have different categories, but every single one of those categories is going to start off at a 7 out of 10. From there, I then adjust the score. If the art is really nice, I'm going to bump that up to an 8. I might bump it up to a 9. Rare occasions, I give some categories a perfect 10 out of 10. Never the full game, of course, but some categories. Or if the art is kind of bad, 6, 5. I've given some games a 4 and a 3 a couple times, I'm pretty sure. I don't know of any off the top of my head, but I have done it before. From there, once I've rated every category that I think is important to these games, I then find the average, and that's how you get 7.6, 8.2, 4.3, whatever the score might be. That's how I get those different scores. With that said, though, I'm still learning as I go. I have had people comment on my stuff before saying, oh, well, I don't think that this was a fair rating because of X, Y, and Z. And I read all of your comments, by the way. Every single comment, I do read it. I might not respond to all of them, but I do read them. But I am learning as I go. I slowly make little adjustments here and there because if I am reviewing a game for you, I don't want to give you a misinformed rating. If GTA 6 were to come out tomorrow and I had a review for you, you would expect that review to be as accurate as possible. And sometimes I'm a little bit wrong. I leave comments, a pinned comment from myself in some of the videos that I've put out saying I would like to make an amendment, and usually it's only by a few points. There was actually a game I just put out recently. I think it was a game about digging a hole. I believe I gave it like a 6.6, but I ended up changing that to like a 6.8 because I didn't think that the graphics were important to include. And then after I actually made the video, I thought, you know what, I should have made a category about the graphics. So I then adjusted my whole review, and so I'm learning as I go, and you guys deserve accurate reviews, and I'm trying to give those to you. Two examples of this about how I am growing is I started off writing scripts, and now I'm experimenting with bullet points. And I'm going to be so real with you guys. I'm not very good at bullet points. I feel like there's too much not creativity, but there's too much winging it. It's too, just it with a script, I can read it word for word, and but with a bullet point, it's here's your talking points, go. Back in college, this is not important, kind of. I took a public speaking class, and I'm trying to think back to that class, and some of the things I remember was slow down when you talk, and just a few other things, but that was the most important one to me. Slow down when you talk, because when you talk too fast, you stumble over words, you forget things, and that's really helpful with the bullet points. I still prefer reading scripts because then I can type out everything I want and it's right there. But I've been told reading a script makes me sound maybe not robotic, but not natural either. I mean, it's natural because I'm talking. It doesn't sound like I'm a robot necessarily, robot, but it doesn't flow as naturally. It feels too structured. So I'm trying to get better at bullet points, but it's a little bit of a challenge. I've also changed my rating categories. One of them being price, which in hindsight doesn't really make much sense. Why am I rating the price? And instead I changed that to time. If you buy a game for $40, but you only get 10 hours of playtime out of it, it's kind of a problem. If you buy a game for $10 and get 40 hours out of it, that's a pretty good deal. So I changed price to time. Or another one that I'm thinking about implementing is graphics/art. Because graphics, not every game has quote unquote good graphics, but they might have really good art. Or some games might, they might look good, but the art is kind of lackluster. I feel like you could say that about a game about digging a hole. It looks good, but I mean it just looks kind of generic in the best way possible. Graphics are good, art is bad. And that's part of why I didn't make anything about a game about digging a hole graphics in that video. But I'm thinking about combining both graphics and art into one category. So these are just a couple of examples about how I'm learning as I grow. And some of these things come to me naturally over time, but some other things I don't even think about until you tell me about it. There was actually one viewer on a video I put out way back in October talking about, hey, is this game only on Steam? Is it on, a different platform or whatever it is? And I thought that's a good point. While every game I'm going to review is going to be on Steam, at least at the time of this video, that doesn't mean that I shouldn't mention that it's also on Xbox or PlayStation, Nintendo Switch. There is one game that even had a mobile port. Some of the games are on itch.io as well. So I read the comments and I'm learning as I grow. So if you have anything that you think is important to share with me, please do in the comments below. I promise I read every single one. Lastly, I want to cover things for you to look forward to in the future. I really started this channel because I wanted to cover obscure indie games. I've got a handful of them in my Steam library. One of them being Sabletech, which developer of Sabletech, if you're watching this, shout out to you. But it's a liminal space walking sim. Everybody knows the Backrooms, and there are plenty of those types of games out there. But the Backrooms, I feel like, have taken on a personality of their own that isn't, quote, liminal space anymore. This is getting on, we're getting sidetracked. But that's one of those super obscure games that I think deserve a little more time in the sun, if that's the right phrase. So I've got a library, not full of obscure games, but a decent handful of obscure games that I would like to cover. And I didn't start really reviewing games until I played The Pathless, which was my very first review ever. Looking back, it wasn't very good, but it's got a lot of views. I don't know why. Point is, that's what really got me into reviewing indie games. Plus, I put a lot of reviews on Steam themselves, and people have told me, oh, wow, this is such a great review. Thank you for doing that. But my plan is to play a lot of super obscure indie games and give you guys reviews about them. The second topic, there's going to be 3. The second one is non-commentary videos. I was unemployed for quite a while, and so I had all the time in the world to learn how to make videos, how to edit, and I mean, again, I'm still learning, and my sub count, reflects that. My views do as well. No hate on you guys. I appreciate everybody that's here, but 400 some compared to 100,000, big difference. But I had no experience when I started, and because I was unemployed, I had all the time in the world to learn all these different things. But now I am working part-time pretty much, and I don't have as much time to commit to these videos as I did then. And believe it or not, making these videos takes a lot of time, especially when you're not a professional professional editor, and B, you can't pay someone to edit these videos. I don't know how much an editor costs, but I'm not even making money from YouTube yet, so that's completely off the table anyway. Maybe if I get monetized, maybe I can consider it. But point is, I don't have the time or the money to edit these videos. So it just happens to be in my spare time, and getting these videos out once a week is a big commitment. That's a big ask. So I've wondered, how do I combat that? Do I just learn to get better? Do I somehow pay for an editor, which is my very last choice? Do I just slow down my weekly uploads to once every 2 weeks, once a month? I'd rather not. Once every 2 weeks, I mean, if that's what I have to do, then so be it. But then I got an idea. I didn't want to do no commentary let's plays because I want to make videos that I would like, and I don't watch non-commentary gameplay videos. There's no talking. It just seems, they're just not for me. But I figured, if I'm recording footage anyway for these videos, why not just supplement my uploads with those? So at the time of this video, there is 1, maybe 2 or 3 no commentary videos. I don't know exactly how many are going to be uploaded when this video goes live, but I know there's at least 1, which is a game about digging a hole no commentary video, which I will link somewhere. And I just want you guys to, just be aware. You might like those kind of videos, you might not, but I'm going to be slowing down my reviews just a little bit because it takes so much time to record these and edit these and play through games. So I'm going to supplement my gameplay review, my game review videos with no commentary gameplay videos. Lastly, I want to keep streaming. Sometimes it's really hard to stream during the week. I go to work, I come home, I'm not in the mood, I have to do chores, I'm even more not in the mood, I can only stream for a couple hours, it's like 5 a.m. Eastern, or wow, 5 p.m. Eastern. That means it's like 2 or 3 in the afternoon on like the West Coast. I don't know exactly how many time zones. Streaming can be difficult, especially if you don't know what game you want to stream either. But I do plan to continue streaming as well. I don't have any plans. Usually it's just like, all right, let's go ahead and stream, click live, and then that's it. I don't have a set schedule. I know I should. I don't have any set games I play, though I know I should. But that's just something I kind of want to do on the side. And I made some video, again, I'll link it somewhere, about how I hit Twitch affiliate thanks to a bunch of followers and, you know, friends and content creators. So shout out to you guys and everybody in that video as well. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to share in this video. It's my 1-year anniversary. I wanted to break down how I do my review videos, and then I wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek as to what is coming in the future. I think that's all I've really got for you guys today. Thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it. It's been 1 year. Let's go ahead and make it 9 more, or maybe I'll quit tomorrow. That's not happening. That was a joke. Either way, thank you guys for being here. I think I'm going to cut my 1-year anniversary video here. Mahoney out.